Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. I have been having so much fun playing the Twist mode in Hearthstone, but Twist can be pretty expensive to get into because many people don't have those old cards left, so I've also been trying to build a bunch of budget decks for Twist. Although this one is not actually a budget deck, it just happens to be cheap. It only uses a bunch of rares, no epics, no legendary cards, but that's just because that's the way the deck works. Those are the best cards for the deck, because this is Beast Druid. I've been trying to build Beast Druid since the first day of Twist, just changing cards, refining. I played tens of games with Beast Druid and I think this is pretty close to the optimal list. Beast Druid of course got a bunch of buffs in Caverns of Time. We have Rat Sensei, a new card. Rat Sensei is by far the most important card in this deck, by the way, because that also gives you a total of 4 1/1 turtles with Taunt, which is just a huge amount of value. Then we have Knight of the Wild, costs less for each beast you have summoned this game, and you can kind of see where we're going here. Rat Sensei alone can be 5 discounts for Knight of the Wild. And then we have the Adult Grizzly. After you summon a beast, give it +1/+1. So again, as you can gem some beast from your hand, then Adult Grizzly is just going to buff them and wonderful things can happen. And once you get some tokens on the board, then you have ways to buff them, ways to make your board stickier, and then eventually win the game. So you have stuff like Mark of the Lotus, Power of the Wild, you can give your minions some stat buffs. You have Soul of the Forest, so you can give your minions Death Rattle to summon more minions so that they're even more difficult to remove. And then of course you have the good old Savjz Roar. Give your characters +2 attack this turn and boom, go face and win some games. A couple of non-beast cards deserve special mention. First and foremost the Vermin Sensei, which also got a big buff in Caverns of Time. 4 mana 4/4 battlecry, give a friendly beast +3/+3. This has been one of the most important cards for me in this deck. It's just a wonderful card. Then Lotus Agents. Discover effects are strong in Twist. That slot, that's probably the last slot to be filled in this deck. Lotus Agents is mainly competing with Swipe for that slot. There's a chance that maybe Swipe could see play here, but Lotus Agents on the other hand gives you a bunch of flexibility, and flexibility can be good. So when you play a game with this deck, in the mulligan, the most important card you can mulligan for is the Rat Sensei. That's the definitive card. Then Haunted Creeper is another really good unconditional card. Death Rattle summons those spiders are also beasts, so sometimes you get to play like Haunted Creeper and then you play the Grizzly and you sacrifice your Haunted Creeper so it summons those spiders and then those spiders immediately get the Grizzly buff. Grizzly is something that I could consider keeping in the mulligan if I already have other good stuff there, but alone it's still a little bit lackluster. Then there's the Enchanted Raven, which is a nice 1-drop. So Rat Sensei, Haunted Creeper, Enchanted Raven, maybe the Grizzly. And then a couple of special circumstances, Living Roots and Druid of the Saber. I tend to keep these especially against Warlocks, because Warlocks sometimes they try to jam down a Tiny Knight of Evil and then discard cards later, and you have to be able to respond to that immediately. And Living Roots can deal 2 damage, or it can summon stuff. Druid of the Saber also can transform into a charge minion, so these can be instrumental in not falling behind too much on the board at the start if you don't have too many tokens, and especially if you're on the coin, so you don't get to go first and the opponent gets to do stuff first. But overall, make tokens, make them sticky, win games with those. Lots of fun. And this is what it all looks like in action. The class is in session. Don't think I can afford to keep a knight. I wanted the druid because there are so many snowballing threats that it's typically good to have something that can answer a snowballing threat before it actually snowballs. Like Druid of the Saber, like Living Roots. Just something.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
If that gives them an explosive trap, then that's gonna suck. And if they're playing the refined version, it will. Right? Oof. That's tough. Let's see what we can do. There might be something that I can do with thanks to the soul, but it's gonna be tricky. Yikes. I need to kill off the Haunted Creeper here. Get that soul active. Alright, now we have the soul. I also have some buffs in hand so that the explosive trap is not going to be a problem for the treants. Well, that's intriguing. I don't have lethal, do I? Warshack with the raid. Hey, thanks for the support. So they have 5 plus 4. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 damage here. So for example, something like a kill command means that they can just win the game. Kill command is lethal. I think we'll still have to give it a try here. I only had a Savjz Roar, but I don't. I think I might die now. We'll see. Did they plan this out properly? And that's not lethal. They have the explosive trap. I guess that's gonna be enough. Because I would need another buff card. Can't handle the explosive trap without another buff. Do they have a cat trick and explosive trap there? Need to kill the minions, of course. I also cannot proc the cat trick.
Sands of Time run low.
Need to buff that. There was an alternative line where I will play the Druid of the Saber and buff that. But I think it has to be this one. Now I have enough minions here so that I can handle their minions before I go into the explosive trap. And after I hit the explosive trap, this can charge in another 4 damage. But that's not enough now, is it? Oh, it's not enough right now. We do have enough. Let's need to buff the beast. Then I can proc the explosives. Then these are 7. This is another 2. And the hero power is another 2. Wonderful. Grizzly is not going to survive to be buffed. Good evening, Night Elder. Oh no, they feel icky. How's Budget Twist Hunter progress? I think I have nailed the list. I think I can make a video tomorrow. I need to get the Rat Sensei out there. That over the Grizzly.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
That was an interesting decision. Even though the explosive trap is not great. Can I just try to raise? I mean, maybe.
Sands of time run low.
Maybe we'll just check out what they have.
I'll show them. I'll show them all. For science.
But they have either explosives or the cat trick now. They will need a damage spell to kill the Grizzly. So this is a moment to risk the Grizzly. This is the right moment to risk it. They have both. No, they did have a damage spell. That's very important for them. Now they have the explosives. The explosives and cat trick. But I'm fine with that. They might have an unleash. Unleash would be a minor problem at this point. The Yomungar spell obviously wins them the game, but I can't really play around that. I think I'm too slow if I try to play around that. So I could give all of these +3/+3. I have to take the chance with the +3/+3. Actually, oh, sorry, I didn't calculate that properly. It was just lethal. Exact lethal. Well, then I didn't have to take any chances. I guess Power of the Wild is sometimes questionable, even though it helped me win that game. So that is like 24 cards I'm sure of. And then there's 6 cards that I have. 6 cards that I have been struggling with a lot. And see what happens. You never know. Rat Sensei time. Let's go. Saw them use a Jade Shuriken, that was very welcome.
Are you my master?
Very, very welcome. A little sad about the backstab, of course. Well, I have Rat Senseis for days now. How do I get something to stick on the board? Like this, we get something to stick on the board. Wonderful. I guess it is. They can probably kill the Grizzly, but I think that's fine.
Contradictions.
Because now we can get this killed. Summon some beasts. We can play these. I still think they should be able to kill the Grizzly. Yeah, that's one way to kill the Grizzly. They're actually getting a little scared. But I like that a lot. We're trading here now. We get to keep this board. Then we're trying to build a bigger board and buff it next turn. That's another 4 minions. Plus the buff. We're going for it.
So many contradictions. It needs a quick nap.
All right. Now we're putting on some pressure. We already saw a fan. We saw 2 Jade Shurikens.
Balance in all things.
Why not? Buff up this one, make it a little scary. Do 1 trade there.
Stand the time gone low.
Then there will be an out here. Is everything else going to the dome? Or do I trade a 3-1? No, everything else is going to the dome. Okay, Rogue. Now we're up against quite a few minions. Do you have what it takes? You need more. You're dead still.
I do.
Boom. Well, 100% win rate. Maybe this is the list. Maybe this is finally it. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.